Tryna hold my morals through the struggle. If I told you that I love you, I was lying. Cause I'm focused on the vision and the ball.
Feels like summer, but you make me feel so alive.
For me to, I guess drop some gems for the people, and thank you for the privilege to be able to sit in this chair and actually pour out to the world. I just ask that Holy Spirit's in this place, that you give us some good chemistry, help us to, flow nicely and bounce off each other well. Just pray for a solid interview, a solid recording. Pray that this, this really carries some significant impact, and everyone it reaches, I pray that it touches them and, it really does something for their lives, I guess. So, yeah, God, I invite you into this interview, into this shoot. I pray that everything goes well and goes smooth. Thank you for the opportunity, and let's make the most of it. Let your perfect will be done. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. I feel great, amen. What's poppin'? If you guys don't know now, you know Joe Knox in the building. What's up? Yo, what's up? I make music. I'm dedicated to greatness, the process of evolving into my greatest self, and I'm a leader. How important is it to be a leader in today's society? I think it's super important, because I feel like a lot of people who we deem as leaders now actually have no sense of direction. And I feel like a lot of leadership nowadays is like self-fulfilling. I feel like a lot of people are just doing it for the sake of feeling like a demigod. I don't think a lot of people care. Not to say that, I'm not saying all people, but I think it's super important, because leadership determines the state of the world as a whole. I feel like we're all just like one big unit, and the direction we follow is what we evolve into, right? So I think it's super important to have proper leaders, and I think I'm a great leader because I actually care about people. Like, I actually care for the people. I care to see people win. I care to see people tap in and become the best they can be. So I'm trying to just lead by example, and rock with me. Let's go. All right. So everyday influences. I find myself, influence, I don't allow myself to be susceptible to influence. However, I find myself breaking my walls down for people that I see that are actively and consistently progressing in their journey or whatever it is they're achieving. Like, I'm in love with, super fascinated with, just evolution. I say that word a lot, evolution. And those are my everyday influences. Anyone I see that is actually progressing, moving forward, becoming a better version of themselves, continue to taking leaps of faith, taking risks, and just doing things to advance. So I see that a lot in my parents. Those are big influences for me, because they work day in and day out to just make sure that we're good as a family. And it's like, they're getting old. You know what I'm saying? They're getting old, and it's like, their motivation to keep doing what they're doing. It's like, damn, it's really selfless, and something like that inspires me, because why can't I just push for whatever it is that I'm trying to push for? If they're doing it, I can do it too. Every winner, I guess that's what it is. My everyday influences are winners. I don't like victims. I don't like victims. But yeah, anyone who's conquering, that's my influences. Yeah, I don't really listen to music as much anymore. Just because I feel like I've absorbed everything that I love, and a lot of stuff that's out there is I like to keep my spirit pure, keep my mind cleansed. Like, I don't want to feel myself a garbage. I hear a lot of shit that's hard. There's a lot of dope artists out there that make me feel cool, make me bouncing. But I can't listen to that stuff all the time, because it's gonna pollute my mind, and it's gonna shift my spirit in a way that I don't want it to go. So I'm very careful with what I listen to. But as for the stuff I listen to the most, old school R&B. You feel me? Like that '90s R&B. Mary J, Aaliyah, I definitely love that type of sound. I stopped listening to old school R&B because it was making me in love with mine. All I wanted was love and relationships, and I was just sad about ex-girls. So I had to stop listening to R&B. But definitely when I'm catching the vibe, I'll be bumping that. It depends on the mood though. I don't really listen to music. I listen to music to kind of feed my purpose. If I'm trying to pump up my chest, You know, I have people I go to, like, you know, I rock with Key Glock, Young Dolph, you know, those guys go hard. But that's not an everyday music still. Like, fortunately, my lifestyle, I don't aspire to that type of lifestyle, so I don't want to shift myself there. But it's hard to say. I have a lot of musical influences in terms of whatever it is that I'm looking for that influence for, whether it's mentally, my craft, or how I just want to feel. Okay, so I guess the goal of my music is empowerment. I make music to empower, not just others, but myself, literally. Like, if I feel myself in a slump, I'll go make some music about talking about how I feel and what I'm going through, because I feel like me speaking on those things and accepting it and acknowledging those things empowers me, because now that my problems are now in front of me, I can see that. I can make the decision to not be a victim to them, right? So it's like, whether it's me saying some like overconfident shit just to kind of like really kind of get myself out of a negative state of mind, or whether it's me talking about my feelings or how angry I am about this or whatever, it's all to empower. It's all to empower. I listen to my music to feel good about myself. The fact that I can listen to my music and enjoy it or feel something, it makes me feel good about me, because that's a product of myself. And I guess for anybody who's listening, it's either to, you know, inspire you, motivate you, or, you know, connect with me, you know what I'm saying? The whole goal is to empower, though. It's never to any kind of belittle anybody. I'm not into the self-praise. My form of self-praise is a form of self-love. It's me trying to teach myself to embrace who I am and, you know, be confident in who I am and be solid in my character. So anytime I'm saying something like, shit, I may come off cocked or nothing, I say that in a way that if you're reciting my lyrics, I want you to feel that within yourself. My goal is to make you feel better about yourself. And yeah, that's how I feel about my music still. I feel like too many people, it's definitely important to work on your craft. It's definitely important to harness your craft. However, your craft is a byproduct of you. So if you don't work on you, your craft cannot evolve. I feel like you gotta upgrade the machine for better results. Working on your craft is a matter of, you know, updating the programming on your machine. That's like a software update. But if you want better results out of whatever you're creating, I feel like you gotta tap into you. Because personally, I feel like we're in a world where like it's too much follow the leader. And one thing I learned is you can never be second place at being you. You know what I'm saying? You can never be second place doing you. So how can you be you? Because that's the only advantage. My advantage over every one of you guys watching this is the fact that you guys can't shine the way I can. And I can't shine the way you can. So how could I ever say I'm better than you? Or how could you ever say you're better than me? It's not possible. Because you can do something I can do something you can. So I feel like the goal is to tap into that part of you that you're hiding because you don't want to come off different or come off a certain way. But I feel like it's that uniqueness about you that bleeds into whatever you do. Whether you're creating videos, your style of creating videos, or making music, or producing, whatever is unique to you, I feel like that's what's going to make you special, and that's what's going to make you stand out in this oversaturated market. So that's a big advice I'll give to people. Tap into you. It changes everything you do. The way you see things, the way you understand things, the way you approach it. It all comes back to how, you know, who you are as a person and how you see the world and how you understand things. I think that didn't make sense. Let me reword that. What I'm trying to say is, the more you can tap into you, the better you can do things, because you're going to do them differently from anybody else. And that's the goal right here. You know, we've heard it all at this point. We've seen it all at this point. So I feel like the only thing that can make you stand out, the only thing that could actually move you forward, set you apart, is how could you shine your light differently from me. Yeah. The way music's impacted my life is, it's forced me to find myself. You know, if I couldn't figure out who I was as a person, it showed. You know, I feel like music's most powerful when the art is licensed solely to that artist, if that makes sense. Like, what makes the greats, if we look at all the greats in history, what made them also unique was not just the fact, because a lot of the greats are probably not the best musicians or the best writers or anything. You can put them in those brackets, but the people we admire are the people who were so in tune with who they were and that radiated so powerfully. And it almost inspired us to, you know, it's like a lot of people, we watch that and we see that it's like, how did they reach that element in terms of like I admire someone's confidence, people's confidence when they're completely out of the norm. You know, they look completely stupid to the masses, but to them, they're the shit. Like, I admire that. And I feel like that's what my music's been challenging me to do. Like, how could you set yourself apart and be solid in who you are? And it's forced me to, you know, really grounded me, it's humbled me, and it's really brought me down to the core of who I really am. And I feel like with each song, every time I'm creating, it brings me closer and closer to that point. And I feel like that's what it's helped me with. And that's why my music is literally almost like, I say it's about empowerment, because I want to empower to evolve. I empower myself so I can continue to evolve. I want to empower other people so they can continue to evolve. And, you know, what my music's challenged me to do is what I kind of try to challenge other people to do, by just embodying that and, you know, leading by example of, you know, standing in my shoes as confidently as possible, as organically, as authentically, as whatever word you want to say, but just me being as me as possible. So that's what my music's done for me still. That's what I appreciate about this whole process and journey. Yo, let me tell you something. I always loved to sing. My whole life, I love to sing. You know, I started this whole thing as just rapping. I'm now branching off into, you know, singing. Like, I'm being super slick with it. But I've always wanted to sing in my whole life. I've always been told I can't sing. Even from the people closest to me. You know, my whole family told me I can't sing, except my mom. My mom was always my #1 cheerleader, no matter what. No matter how bad I sung, she always supported me because she was just as bad as me. And she always said, I sing to the glory of God. I don't care what you think. And it's like, I found that so admiring because we're literally like, yo, mom, like, stop, like, be quiet. But nobody could silence her because she knew what she was singing for. And it's like, nobody could silence her voice. So it's like, I feel like subconsciously that wired me. It's like, I love singing. I know I can't sing, but I'm gonna do it anyway. As for the whole music thing, I was just always into the whole music. I was always inspired by hip hop culture. Not even just hip hop culture, like, you know, the whole Afro scene, reggae, like, you know, yeah, that's mainly my main influence: hip hop, reggae, Afro tunes, and yeah, soul music even. But like, I always connected with it. I always aspired to be able to create on that type of level. I always thought it was the coolest thing to do. Like, you make music, you perform your music, you're pretty much like, you're doing you. Like, you're pretty much carrying what's inside of you and bringing it out. I'm like, bro, what the heck? That is the coolest thing ever, because I think I'm cool as hell. So I'm like, bro, if like, people always say like, what's your strength? I'm like, I think like what's your skill or whatever? Like, you know, what could you monetize? What could you dedicate your life to? And I figured that my strength was like me. Like, it was just me. Like, I just know, like, I've always felt that I was unique. There's something about me that was different, and music was a great way for me to actually bring that out and do something with that thing. I was chosen to be one of the lead singers, and I thought I was so sick until I got booted last minute, and I wasn't a lead singer no more. I was hurt. I was hurt, but it's all good. Like, I was singing in a voice choir. I was always rapping along to like rappers on like music videos, watching 106 in Park. Like, I'd be standing in front of the TV, you know, rapping and jugging and doing my thing, thinking I'm on TV. Like, I always pretended like I was them. And grade 8, I sang in a talent show. I sang Justin Bieber, yo. I sang Boyfriend by Justin Bieber in the grade 8 talent show. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I was horrible, but the crowd was loving me. And I'm just like, no way. Like, the high I got from it was insane. But I never consciously was aware that, yo, I could do this. It was just in the back of my head that I like doing this, and I don't think anybody could stop me. The fact that I wasn't good at what I was doing, I didn't let people get to me. And I just did it. So It was only until I went to the studio for the first time when I was 15. I went to the studio, bro. I think it was Roni who made me feel like it was gospel. Roni, yo. That guy used to get me at, like, I was talking to homie J-Brown, like me and J-Brown be on the phone, we're talking about Roni, we're talking about all the rappers that were doing their thing, and then like Robin Banks came along later on, and I'm like, bro, like people around us are doing this shit, like, and then I went to the studio, recorded a track. I didn't do shit with it though, I just recorded it because I just wanted to make a song. And then this guy out of nowhere drops a song, and I'm like, well, how'd you do that? Like, you just dropped the song, like, And people are actually looking at him like an artist. I'm like, bro, like, this guy's an artist now. I'm like, what the hell? This guy's like, he's like my best friend, so it's like, what the heck? Like, this guy just did it. So I'm like, what the heck? I guess that's all you gotta do. Just do it, jump in. And I jumped in, and here I am. Here I am. This is such a tricky question because some of the artists I admire the most, I just can't see myself collaborating with. I just feel like I only want to appreciate your art. I don't want to be on the same, like, I just want to listen to you and appreciate it. And so, what? Like, I always think about, like, Mary J, I'm sorry, I keep calling Mary J. I love Mary J's with real love. Hey, I'm searching for a real love. I don't want to sing on a track with her. I just want to listen to her and be a fan. So, But there's a lot of artists that I would want to collaborate with just because I feel like our crafts can go with. Yeah, big homie Skepta. I would definitely want to make music with Skepta. Like, Skepta he's one of my inspirations still. Like, he just makes you want to feel like Skepta. I feel like Skepta inspires me to say the dumbest shit ever and look at you with a straight face and look at you stupid if you don't feel the dumb shit I just said. Like, not like he says dumb things, but that's how confident that guy makes me. I poke a nigga in his armpit and I lick it all. See? Like, stupidness, I'm gonna look at you and say with a smile. Like, that's how I fuck with Skepta. But yeah, Skepta, Lil Baby. Lil Baby. Honestly, it's hard for me to find artists that I can really like when they're at that level because they start to water up their music, But Lil Baby, that guy has hundreds still. Like, I'll definitely rock with Lil Baby. I'm not gonna lie, it's funny. I remember I watched an interview where Lil Baby was he learned how to rap off practicing Gunna's music, right? I did the same shit to him. I started rapping his music and I started practicing to catch his cadences and shit. Did that with him, did that with Drake. Everyone I'm mentioning, Skepta, did that with all you guys. You guys created a monster, and I'm gonna be at you guys' level, So shout out to you guys. You guys were so great that you made me greater. So yeah, I guess. Oh, and Dave, don't let me sleep on Dave. Dave, you the man, bro. Dave is like, he's sick, man. I love the way his mind is like. Dave really challenges my artistry.
Who's Dave?
Dave Santan, UK. Forgive her, Dave. Dave, that guy challenges my artistry, man. Like, me, I used to love to rap about the deep stuff. I was never political, but I rap very deep stuff. I may not have had the craziest ways of doing it. I guess my way of affecting this was just being as raw and as, real as possible. But Dave, that guy will make political shit sound like, he'll make me care. I don't really like to listen to the political music, but Dave will make that and I'll be like, oh shoot, that guy will have me sitting there thinking literally. But yeah, and J. Cole. I would love to make music with J. Cole. If I'm gonna be humbly speaking, I don't think I can even jump on a song with him yet. And I don't say that about people. J. Cole, he's someone I'm gonna meet at reaching the pinnacle of my evolution. Not even the pinnacle, but as I get up there. Cause his energy is something else. Like, forget artistry, forget sound, forget that stuff. It's his energy, yo. That shit's powerful, man. You listen to the same song like 20 times and you still feel the same way you felt the first time you listened to it. You know, so, yeah. Yeah.
Tryna hold my morals through the struggle. If I told you that I love you, I was lying. Cause I'm focused on the vision and the ball.
Feels like summer, but you make me feel so alive.
Hey, some could say overcomplicated, but it used to be really deep. I listened to a beat, and then I begin to see colors. And then from the colors, what does that color mean to me? And then it puts me in like a state of mind where it's like, I want to feel the psychology of the beat. Like, what is this beat communicating to me? Like, as if it spoke English to me. What is this beat communicating to me? And how can I look at the beat as another artist. Like, when I jump on beats before, it's like we're doing a feature together. How can I make you sound better, and how can you make me sound better? So I used to go so deep into that shit. Unfortunately, I don't do that as I think I do it, but like it's more subconscious now because I've been doing this for a while. But I used to really go like that, and then I would think about all my experiences. I used to write it like an essay. I do rough drafts, so like I'll do a brainstorm of jot notes of everything I want to talk about in the song, whether it's this girl that cheesed me versus how much money I lost, or like who hurt me. Like, I would jot down every little thing I wanted the song to have, and then I'd almost formulate it into like an essay. Well, that's when my music was like very, very structured. However, now, like, I make a lot of music now. Like, I record a lot. I record every single day. I don't really write anymore. It's not like I just go off the top and just say whatever comes to my mind. I kind of do that. It's just I wrote so much that my style's kind of implanted in my brain. My thing now is I want to be as true to how I feel. You know, how do I feel in the moment? And my thing is, I want to make id music. When I say id, I'm talking how we have our id and our super ego. If you guys don't know, for like the psychology breakdown of it, your id is the impulse part of your brain that is just like, it's the subconscious, the things that are planted and it's like programmed, right? Versus your super ego is more so like, your id is more so like what's really deep down within you. Your super ego is more so, it's your moral, conscious side. You know, all the rules and the principles you were taught and all that. The id has no discipline. The id has no discipline, no guidance. It's just whatever is there. I try to make id music now because I really take the time to invest in myself and my, elevating my mind and, continue to boost the frequencies of my spirit. So I feel like I could make id music more now. It may not always be the most righteous thing in the world, but I definitely keep a pure heart in my creation, and my purpose still serves to empower. So yeah, right now I just hear the music. As soon as I hear a song, as soon as I hear a beat, I gotta record a reference right away. I don't like to hear beats over and over before I jump in. No, I want to get my fresh ideas on. I hear that shit, I'll freestyle like flows, ideas, and I'll just keep doing it. I'll do that 2 or 3 times. The 3rd, 4th time, I'm coming in with words, and then I go from there. And I don't really try to think about it. I don't consider myself a motivational speaker because I'm not on a stage speaking to millions, but I'm a motivational speaker, yo. Every conversation, ask anybody around me, I'm like the preacher guy, I'm the lecturer guy. I like to just talk, just because I always want to, like, how could I sow into your life? If we meet today, how can I leave you making sure that you've grown, or you've gotten something better, like, or you learned something. Like, I always want people to, I don't know, that's like my addiction, my weird addiction. I want to see people like tap into something greater within themselves. And I don't know why, I can't even tell you why. I don't have a reason for why I want to do it. I've just always been like that. So speaking, like, you know, and that's why I read a lot of books. I watch a lot of sermons. I listen to a lot of like motivational speeches, just so I can always fill myself with more, so that I can also pour into others. So that's one thing I'm super passionate about.
Go ahead.
So yeah, another thing I'm passionate about is making money. I've made a lot of money, but I've lost a lot of money trying to find new ways to make new money. But it's like, I always felt like it's not about how much money you make, it's how you make it. That's the coolest part. Did this stop recording?
No, keep going.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the coolest part. How you made it, you know what I'm saying? Like, free bands is not fun. When I know I did some shit for it, it makes me feel greasy. Like, I like the feeling of turning nothing into something. Like, I think that's super cool. Where it starts off with an idea, or it starts off with, like, you know, you having to like actually create a plan to follow through with it, ways to make things happen. Make it happen. That's one thing I live by. I live by, make it happen. Just make it happen. And it's a hobby for me. You know, I just enjoy that. So, yeah, motivation, making money, passionate about my faith still. I like to preach to people about God. You know, I wish I could be a better example more times. But like, it won't stop me from preaching them. You know, I have my flaws. I have my 1-2s that I kind of, you know, aren't so aligned or aren't so righteous, like I said, but it doesn't matter. I know what's right in my heart, so I'm still gonna, you know, use my tongue to speak on it. So it didn't stop recording, did it? Awesome. So yeah, that's another thing I'm passionate about: music, making money, God, family, and yeah.
But you make me feel so alive.
Oh my gosh. I love to convince myself that like I don't have nobody, but realistically, if I didn't have nobody, I would not be here. I might even just talk about the support system where fans who support you. I'm talking about the people behind the scenes, like the girl behind this camera who's making this happen right now. Like, it's those types of people you have in the corner. I have my homie right here, you know, Quay, like, you know, producer, like right here, like this guy cooks up so much beats and just sends it to me. And like, if I didn't have this, I consider that my support system. You know, they're both actively working around me, but like, these people are, it's a support system because they believe in me to be able to, you know, cater their gifts and talents for me to actually do something. And there's so many people that I have with me that are like, you know, that work with me, like, and I think that is so huge. You can't do things alone. Like, you know, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, you got to go with people. You know, 2 is always better than 1, and what's better than having more than 2? Well, what's better than 2? More than 2. Yeah, that's what I was supposed to say. It's better than 2, more than 2. But yeah, I mean, I think it's amazing. And even the support system, like a lot of people when I started were supporting me. A lot of people who were supporting me when I started don't support me no more. And there's no hard feelings, you know? But no hard feelings. But, I mean, the people who rock with me, like, that means the world to me. Because it's like, I got to a point where, like, I don't really care who rocks with me or not. I'm going to just do what I got to do regardless. Like, this is what I do. So whether you like me or you don't, I'm going to keep doing what I do. So if you do like me, like, bro, I appreciate that like crazy. Like, and it means so much. You know, the people who share my music, the people who post my stuff, the people who, you know, just want to help me out or even send me a message to encourage me. All that shit goes a long way, bro. Like, a long way. I shout out to my homies, bro. Like, those guys encourage the hell out of me. Like, they see my growth and my process. Like, they seen when like my music was ass, and you know they didn't tell me it was ass, but they always told me to dig deeper. Like, you know, they always made me dig deeper within myself, you know, and all of that goes a long way. I wouldn't be here without a solid support system. You know, I may not have 1 million fans in the world right now, but what I have now, it's solid and it's super strong, and yeah, you guys are going to see what's going to happen in, you know, the next little bit, and that's all love. That's all love and credit and honor to the people around me, because without them, I'm just an awesome guy. That's it. But that's it. But man, support system's crucial. It's crucial. But one thing I want to advise people out there: if you feel like you don't have a support system, don't let that stop you. Your support system comes after you support yourself. Support yourself first, and then watch other people support you. You know, I always complain I didn't have a team. Like, you know, I was like, yo, I don't have a team. I don't have this. I don't have that. So I didn't do anything. But until I decided to take control and start doing something, that's when people started coming. That's when people started putting their hands in. You know? So support yourself. And trust me, a support system will come, and it may take some time, but if no one has your back, have your own back. You know? Once you have your own back, you'll see the power of that. It doesn't matter who's there. So yeah, a couple of things, there's more than one thing that I've implemented into my day-to-day that's, helped me for the better. First thing I'll say is prayer, man. I'm very spiritual. Like, prayer just releases burdens off of me. Like, the second I pray about something, it's no longer my battle to fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to stress about it no more. And yeah, I feel like it's just such a blessing, because there's a lot of times I'm anxious about things, or I feel very nervous, or I'm fearful, or I'm just uneasy about stuff. But the second I pray for it, it's like, it's in better hands. It's in control now, and it has no more power over me. There's a scripture that I love, that I always reflect on it. Proverbs 16:3. Commit thy works unto God, and your thoughts will be established. That's it. Like, I lift it up and let it flow. And I just, I ride from there, and I just let my spirit lead me. Reading something that's helped me a lot. I feel like reading's opened up my mind in so many different ways. It's given me just new outlooks on life. It's changed my perception on a lot of things, and it's educated me in so many. When you're educated on something, it's a sense of power. Knowledge is literally power. Once you know, you go about things differently, because you see things differently, you understand things differently. Like, your mind is working on a different wavelength. So it's like reading's such a powerful thing for me. But any form of education. So I'm not going to say reading. I'm going to say educating yourself. For me, I read a lot, and I watch a lot of sermons, and I watch a lot of, like I said, motivational speeches. But just the whole educating yourself process. I go on walks just to clear my mind. Just having quiet time. I feel like a lot of times we don't have a lot of quiet time. When we're alone, we listen to music, or we want to call somebody on the phone. We never actually give ourselves that alone time where it's just us and our thoughts. Silence. So I feel like that's something that's extremely helpful for me, because it gives me clarity, and it gives me the opportunity to reflect on a lot of things and see things differently. And one more thing I'll say is that's changed my life day to day. So I said prayer, reading, walks, affirmation, self-affirmation. I tell myself what I want to hear. I don't wait for people to tell me something. If I look good, I don't want to wait for someone to tell me I look good. Because if no one tells me I don't look good, I'll get afraid. Maybe I don't look, feel the shit, right? I'm not nothing special, but like, I'll tell myself everything I want to hear, so that way I'm not looking for validation. I don't look for things from people. So I walk with power. Ever since I took power back into my own hands, I became like a different type of force. Like, when you know your power and you hold it, it's a whole different narrative. So I tell myself what I want to hear. Self-affirmations are super powerful. There's power in the tongue. I use my tongue to my advantage. So I'd say those are definitely some things that's helped me change my life day to day.
Favorite oldies track?
Favorite oldies track? Damn. Yo, it's really hard to say. Like, there's so many different oldies that I rock with. Like from the '80s, Bobby Brown. I love Bobby Brown. You know, the '90s, I keep at Aaliyah. I love Aaliyah. I love Mary J. I love Lil Bow Wow. Dog. Lil Bow Wow. Like, you know, Omarion had me. B2K, baby, turn around and let me see that sexy body go. But like, there's too many hits, bro. I prefer the oldies music than this. So it's like, you're asking my favorite oldies track, bro. I'm going forever. So, sorry. We're gonna have to have a full conversation with that another day where it's like, we sit down and we're gonna talk about the oldies, because that shit goes long still. I get super inspired when I listen to Lil Baby, because I feel like that guy just doesn't try. No, he doesn't try. I think he's literally, he's so in tune with himself that he literally just gives himself on a beat. Like, I don't think he's trying to sound hard, or he tries to sound cool or anything. Like, it really seems very natural, very organic, and that's super inspiring to me, because like, a lot of the shit he says, like, you know, even if there's times that I don't see eye to eye with the stuff he's saying, it's just the fact that, like, how he can be so grounded in himself and unapologetic in a very humble way. I feel like he's humbly unapologetic, and I don't know how people take that, but I don't know. I just think that's super inspiring. Another person I get inspired to when I listen to, Drake, yo. Like, bro, I feel like Drake takes words out of my mouth. Like, literally. I feel like he takes words out of my mouth. I feel like, yo, I don't know, man. I listen to him and I'm just like, this is how I feel. I just didn't know how to say this. Like, you said how I felt so much better than I could have ever said it. And that inspired me, where I could actually, like, create that type of art where it's like, my music is literally like, it's like, oh my gosh, you took the words right out of my mouth. And it's so natural. But I don't know what his writing process is like. I don't know what his creation process is like, but I do admire the end product. I can say that. I don't know what goes into it, but I admire what comes out of it. So I definitely get inspired listening to him too.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Attitude is everything. 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 Like, literally. It's all about how you see things. You believe you're a loser, you're a loser. You believe you're the man, you're the man. You believe that you're gonna overcome a challenge or obstacle, you will. You believe you'll fail, you'll fail. Attitude is everything. Attitude it sets your direction. Where I can tell you stories on stories about like shit that just didn't go well in my life, but because I kept a positive attitude, it's like a way was made. Where there was no way, it became a way. All stemming from attitude. Attitude stems from faith. You know, I'm gonna share a quick story. I started a short film movie. Bruh. I woke up the day of the film. I was ready for the movie. I had everything set. I had to pick a few things for a couple homies that were part of my outfit, whatever. So the morning of, I called him. This guy told me he's in Windsor. I'm like, bro, what the heck I needed for the shoot? Like, I don't know what to do. So I had to start calling other people. I'm trying to like make this story short and simple, but I started calling everybody else. Mind you, I had to be on set in an hour and a half. I started calling everybody. Yo, do you got this? You got this? You got this? Finally found someone who had a friend who had something I needed. So then I picked him up, drove him to his friend, got what I needed, and then after I got what I needed to go drop him home. But he had to go pick up some food for his daughter. So he's like, can we go pick up breakfast for my daughter? I'm like, yo, I have time. Things are going well. I'm like, all right, cool. So as we went to McDonald's, I parked up at the Westin and 401 McDonald's. You know, I'm there waiting for him in the car. I'm like, let me just change. I'm sitting in the car, I'm gonna change. Right, I sat in the car, put on my fit, so when I get on set, I'm ready. And I'm so amped. I'm like, yo, like, I look hard. I went to McDonald's just to show him, like, yo, fam, take me in. Tell your girl I locked the key in the car. I locked the key in the car. I locked my cell phone in the car. I locked my wallet in the car. I had nothing there. And I'm just like, I'm like, bro, what the fuck's going on? I have to be on set in 20 minutes. I have to be on set in 20 minutes. I'm like, bro, what do we do? Like, we gotta call someone. We gotta do something. I forget my car. Like, I need to get to set. This guy's phone's at 1%. Like, oh my gosh. Now this guy's phone at 1%. We're like, what do I do? He's here and I'm here. We have nothing that we can do. With no phones, no nothing, no money on us. Everything's in the car. So what happened was, he was able to call the Uber with his 1% battery. Called the Uber successfully. Thank God. His phone died. We don't know what car the Uber is. We don't know how far it is. We don't know nothing. Bro, we walked into that plaza. We went up to every single car in that plaza, trying to figure out who the Uber was. Eventually, we found the Uber. But guess what? I didn't even mention this part. The address he put in, we didn't even know that was the address. I guess the address was on my phone. I just said whatever came to my head. I swear to you. I don't know. It just sounded right in my head. So I just told him, if it is it, if that's it, that's it. If not, I lose. Right at this point, I get into the Uber. I started venting to the Uber driver. I vented to him, like, bro, do you know what? I'm like, yo. I sat in there, I was like, you wanna know how my day's going? I can't stand Uber drivers who talk to me, bro. Like, shut up, just drive me, my dude. Bro, I'm here, like, hey, you wanna know how my day's going, bro? I vented to the guy. And yo, you know what he told me? The man said, I'm not religious, but everything happens for a reason. See, everything happens for a reason. All I can tell you is, there's gonna be a way. Believe it. I'm like, bro, what am I supposed to do with that advice right now, bro? Like, I don't even know if I'm going to the right place. He's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. But if you believe there's gonna be a way, there'll be a way. Mind you, this guy, I'm late on set now. I'm late. This guy drops me somewhere. We pull up to a house. I see we pull up to a house. I'm like, this is not the place. And at this point, I'm done. This guy's like, good luck, and drove off because it was an Uber pool. He had someone else in the car. Couldn't wait for me. And I couldn't call another Uber, and I think he cared about me enough to give me a ride. Anyway, at that point, I'm kicking rocks. I'm just like, bro, I did everything I could. I'm kicking rocks. I'm kicking a rock, and I just fall. I don't know if you guys ever kick rocks and you're following a rock. I just kept kicking the same rock for like 5-10 minutes straight. I'm just so miserable. And I don't even know where I am. I don't know what ends I'm in. I actually don't even know what ends I'm in. I'm just walking around. I'm like, bro, I have no phone. I have nothing. I'm just gonna be hopeless until something happens. As I'm kicking a rock, and it went so far into a construction site. It went into a construction site. So I'm like, I seen a construction site. I'm like, there's bare rocks at this point. I'm not about to go look for the rock. And I see a dude with a reflector vest. And I'm like, wait a minute. The first scene is a construction site. Bro. Then I seen this, my big homie Blaze. He's acting, he's running the construction. I'm like, yo, I'm here. Like, yo, I'm here. I'm here. These guys like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, do you know what time it is? I'm like, bro, shut up. You guys don't even know what I just went through to get here. But something in me just felt that, like, just keep going with your day. Like, I still went. Like, I still tried, and I made it to set, and as soon as I got there, it was time for my scene. It's like, I got there right when it was my time. Like, right when it was my time. And from that day, I was just like, bro, this is crazy. Like, Uber driver was right. You just gotta literally keep a positive attitude. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but I just kept moving and got there. I could have probably said a cooler story, but attitude's everything, man. And attitude's everything. You wanna hear about my project? You trying to hear about the Knoxfiles? Let me tell you something about the Knoxfiles. Knoxfiles, actually I don't know when you guys are gonna see this, but yo, I'm dropping an EP, you know, first EP. I didn't really know how to go about making a project, you know? Cause I considered myself to be an overthinker. Mine there said considered. But I used to think I was an overthinker, so I didn't know how to go about projects, cause like, I'm literally so critical on every little thing that like, nothing would have ever been good enough for me. So I was talking to, you know, big bro Flex, like, you know, he was kind of there walking me through everything, like, you know, he was the guy brainstorming. Every time I'm like, yo, Flex, what do you think about this? So actually, I brainstorm like everything with him. You know, it's usually between like Flex and my boy David. Like, those are the main two that I was always talking to about my project. Like, you know, me doing something, and they would always give me feedback and things like that. So it got to a point where I just figured, I'm just gonna create a catalog of music. I'm just gonna create a bunch of music, and I'm gonna cut down my list. And it's so funny that the order of all the songs I made literally kind of just flowed. I did make a lot of chops into it, but let me tell you something about the Knoxfiles. The Knoxfiles is pretty much a series of things that went on behind the scenes for me to actually take a step into actually making a project. Because I look at it like this: everyone's an artist now. Everyone and their little brothers and uncles and everyone's an artist now. But not many people could actually put together a project. You know, not many people care enough to do that. Just the singles and music videos. So I figured this is what I needed to do to kind of get myself planted. This could be a foundation for me to actually build off of and actually create a real career. And I'm like, yo, once I drop a project, yo, like, I'm an artist now. You know, I didn't really care to consider myself until that project out. So yeah, I created all the songs, and it's funny because the songs I chose for Knoxfiles are pretty much, it kind of paints the picture of what I had to go through in order to actually be able to take that leap of faith. So I say it's the Knoxfiles because it's like literally the files of my brain, the files of like my thoughts and my internal conflictions and decisions I had to make. Like, you know, I can tell you quickly, track list, Destiny. Destiny was my realization. Destiny is my realization that through all the bullshit, it's like, yes, things don't look ideal right now. Yes, things are not what they seem, but I know what I'm destined for. I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I'm going to achieve. And it was just that realization to tell myself, move. Like, Destiny was just my thing that kind of got me to realize I can do this. It got me to remember that I'm capable, and this is all possible, and I'm going to achieve it. So it all started with, you know, a decision. The best decision anyone can make in life is to decide. The second you decide, what can really stop you? So that was Destiny. Schofield is track number 2. Schofield is me talking about Michael Schofield, Prison Break. The whole idea was to me break out of my mind. I had a new realization. I now realized I was destined to do something, and I knew I was capable of doing something. But now, it's one thing to have an idea, it's another thing to actually get up and start going. Schofield was just where it's like, okay, now it's time to break out of my head. Yes, this is in my head. How can we actually get this in motion, get this going? So that was that song. It was pretty much a song of me discussing that, yes, I just have this realization, but now it's time to move. Schofield was now pretty much saying, it's time to move. Time to break out of this present, we're moving now. Track 3, Fuego. Fuego is fire. I was so scared. I don't know why I was scared. Feeling so much emotions of anxiety, a lot of pressure, a lot of fear of failure, or, you know, that I was gonna fall short or whatever. And, you know, it was just pretty much like, Schofield was more so, it's time to move. And then Fuego is, I've moved now, but now I'm scared. I'm in the game now, but now I'm scared because I don't know where each step is gonna lead me. So Fuego was more so me kind of reminding myself, get your head back in the game. You know, you're in the game now. You have no time to be scared. You have no time to be nervous. You have no time to be anxious. Get in the game, you know? Father told me not to fear not, so fuck, I ain't gonna hesitate. If the shit is gonna get me straight, then damn, bro, I'm a heavyweight. Run it up, I'm gonna run it up, I'm gonna run it up with my niggas, eh? You know, like, I had to pump my own self up. Like, imagine me jumping into a game, and I'm just like, a little worried. That song was me like, pick your chest up, boy, like, pick your chest up. Let's get it. And that's what it was. And I jumped right into that shit. Slow down. Track 4. I'm in the game now, but now I got some shit that's slowing me down. I'm literally telling something to slow down, and I'm being slowed down. It was about me relationship. I was in a relationship that wasn't really progressing me. I felt it was a hindrance to me. It was holding me back. It was slowing me down. And so that song was really telling that significant person in my life that we need to slow down, because this is not something I can do right now because I'm focused here, and I can't do divided attention because whatever I'm doing requires all of it. and you don't deserve half. I can't half love you. And I'm not willing to take away from what I need to put my energy into. So that's what that was. And pretty much the dead weight I need to get rid of. And then Never Settle, track number 5. Now that I did what I needed to do, time to really tap in, Don't get comfortable. Yes, I've done everything I needed to do to get to where I am, but Never Settle is pretty much a song letting myself know you cannot get comfortable. You gotta pick it up. You gotta get going. There's a whole story behind that, but that's essentially the gist of it. So it's like the Knoxfiles are just the series of events I went through in my life and the phases I had to go through in order to get myself into this position to actually advance and to actually move forward and take on this journey. So that's pretty much what the Knoxfiles is. It has a different vibe, different energies on it, but essentially it's the process. That's what it's about. It's about the process behind the scenes. You guys only see me, and you guys see what's at the forefront. You guys don't see what's behind the scenes. So it's kind of me inviting you in a little bit to some of the decisions I had to make, some of the mental conflicts I had, and things I had to deal with before I actually got myself back out here. So, yeah, that's the Knoxfiles right there. That's the Knoxfiles right there. All right, so just to sum it all up, I just wanted to, let you guys take away from all of this. Anybody who's out there chasing something, anybody who has an ideal that they're trying to, manifest into a reality, anybody who has goals they want to achieve, anyone who's aspiring to be a greater version of themselves, whatever it is. What I want to tell you is, don't worry about the people around you if they don't believe in you the way you want them to believe in you, if they don't support you the way you want to be supported, or if they just simply don't care the way you wish they would care. Because the thing is, the world needs to see something before they believe something. They need to see your progress before they actually believe in you. They need to see something. As for yourself, we need to believe it before we see it. The world sees it before they believe it. We need to believe it before we see it. So don't worry about the people around you. You gotta believe it first. You gotta believe it first. And when you actually believe it, that's when you're gonna start to see it. And when you start to see it, best believe everyone around you is gonna start to see it as well. So it all comes down to, you gotta know you. My boy actually, E, shout out E, his project is called You Know You, and that spoke to me. It's as real as that. My mom even told me, you gotta know yourself before the world will ever know who you are, right? And I feel like it's a super important thing you gotta be able to take on before you actually advance forth in your journey. So, yeah, I guess that's all I wanna say. You gotta believe it to see it, and when the world sees it, they'll believe it. So, have your own back, be there for yourself, and fuck them haters, boy! Do you still, real talk, I don't care, bro. Do you, be you, man. Be the best you can be, and win. There's nothing other to do in this life other than win. There's nothing better to do than evolve, to learn, to grow, to love. Life is for the living. Shout out ATM, I hear him say that all the time. Life is for the living. And what I say though, what a time to be alive. And life is a blessing, and it's definitely what you make it. Until you decide to take control of your reality, you can complain all you want about how the things you don't like, and where you're not, and what you don't have, and blah, 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 and all that victim talk. Quit the victim talk. Make it happen. You dig? Dig? Don't know. Tomatoes, stuff.
Guess I got the juice, I need to say go away. I can't play no four, I'm playing ankles straight. Figured every
Ready? Yo, what's poppin'? You guys know? No, I'm not gonna do that cat. You guys know what it is.
All right.
We litty, baby. Come on. Tell me when we're starting. Yo, come on, baby. We litty, man. Joe Knox in the building. You guys know what's up. Are you recording?
Uh-huh.
You recording?
Yeah.
Oh, lady. Okay, you can cut that.
She's like a...
What are you looking at?
So tell me a little about yourself
A little bit about myself.
or your music. It doesn't matter.
Or my music. About myself, I'm 22 years old, you know, born, what do I say? What the fuck do I say about myself? Okay, I'll just give it a quick, my name, no, I'm not gonna say my name, I don't tell people my name. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, so a little bit about myself. As y'all know, I'm an artist. What the fuck do I say about myself? What do you know? Give me some tone. What do I say?